Today's episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Full Sail University. Welcome to Film Riot Mondays. Today is the type of day where we're doomed to questions. It's that type of day. What are you doing? What are you doing? I saw you pick something up. What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
You're up to something, clearly.
I'm what?
You're up to something.
You're insane.
Then what's in your hand?
That's none of your business.
Today we're answering... What is the most fun for you when editing something? I really adore editing. I would say my favorite thing about it is just that it's that final bit of writing for your film. You really are writing the film in a way, visually writing the film. I mean, deciding when to cut to a close-up, for instance, says a lot. It's this visual language that you are deciding how you want your audience to see the film. At what perspective do you want your audience to take right now? Should it be looking at the person listening to the guy doing his monologue, or should it be looking at the guy giving his monologue? All of this means a ton to your audience and does the final shaping of your film, and I love that. Figuring out what I want my audience to be feeling emotionally, what I want to do to them psychologically, and piecing those puzzle pieces together and trying to figure that out is freaking awesome. Is applying a letterbox that important, and what is its purpose? That is purely a stylistic choice. It's to emulate anamorphic shooting, unless you are actually shooting anamorphic, which we did for proximity. You stretch your image and you squeeze it back down to get the composition that you want. It's a wider composition and a much more pleasing one, in my opinion, much more interesting one, like, you know, Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, Fincher films, stuff like that. So by putting those box screens on something like 5D footage, where it's full 16:9 HD footage, it helps give it more of a film feel, since we're used to seeing major Hollywood productions with more of a compressed frame like that. But it's purely a stylistic choice, not something that's super important for you to do. Achoo! Gesundheit. It's just me, or after the postponement of The Outsiders project, you have lost interest on it? It is just you. I have not even remotely lost interest in it. I am very passionate about this short film. I love it. I think it is going to be a really exciting and fun short film, and an extremely exciting and fun shoot. I cannot wait to shoot it, and to shoot it with the type of people that we're shooting it with. I'm absolutely thrilled about it. We actually haven't even stopped working on it. We've still been doing a lot of pre-pro work, getting this back going. Since some things came off the rails, it's, you know, a lot about getting it back on. Plus, I've had a lot more time as a director to really dive in and figure out what I wanted to do. And another reason that we haven't been talking about it a lot is because, well, we're doing Proximity too. We did Proximity since we still had the gear, so that took center stage. We're gonna go quiet on Outsiders for a few months as we ramp everything back up, but once we're getting closer again, we're gonna start pushing all that stuff out to you guys again. If you could summarize the secrets of being a filmmaker in 3 words, what would they be? Entertain your audience. Hey Ryan, camera shake for losses, pre-production or post-production? Neither. It was production. And it actually had a little bit more of a jitter on it than I wanted to, because we didn't have any rigs. It was just like super nothing.
You were holding a brick.
Yeah, I was just literally holding the brick. I mean, we didn't even have the side handle for the Epic, so I was literally just holding it like this half the time. Proximity, thankfully, I had a few rigs, so it's a lot nicer. It's more the look that I wanted. With Losses, like even in the dialogue parts, like it has that handheld look that I want, but there's like this extra little jitter there because of the sensor, and there's no image stabilization. But, you know, you work with what you got. You get the chance to work with Spielberg, but have to sell Josh into slavery. Would you do it? Yeah.
That is not even remotely surprising.
How do you keep order on set? Have a plan. Not having a plan leads to chaos if you don't know what you're doing, then everybody else around you doesn't know what they're doing, and on top of that, they know you don't know what you're doing, and they're gonna start trying to figure it out for you. Respect will get lost, and it's just gonna become chaos. Make sure you have a plan, and make sure you have things for people to be doing. Don't have extra people on set that you don't need. If you don't need them, don't have them there, and be kind to people. If you're kind to people and let them know how much you appreciate that they're there, they're going to, go into war with you pretty much. But, don't let people just sit around and start getting destructive to your set. If you have something for them to do, can you go over there, grab this, do that? Make sure you have a plan and something for everyone to do, and you should have order on set. Hey Josh, are you naked behind the camera? First of all, that wasn't a question for me, it was for Josh. Second of all,
always.
Yes.
Always.
Unfortunately.
Always naked. It's the first rule of Film Riot. Always naked.
Is it?
No, I just made it up just now.
Last question. Any advice on dealing with a finished product you are not proud of? That's a tough one, and it always sucks. I mean, you don't have to release it. I'm in a unique position that once we announce something, we have to release it. I announced Proximity, so even if Proximity didn't come out the way I wanted to, since we did it in such a short amount of time, I would have to release it anyway, which would be really terrifying. Luckily, I'm really excited with how it came out. I think you guys are gonna really love it. But if it didn't come out the way I wanted to, that would suck. But you know what? Even still, I would get a lot of feedback and I would learn a lot from it. So if it didn't come out the way you wanted to, maybe you do still release it to Vimeo or something like that and get some constructive criticism to learn from whatever mistakes you made. Or if it's just, it fell to crap and it's not working at all and you just can't get this thing to piece together, it's just not worth putting out, maybe turn it into a trailer. Make it sort of a pitch trailer, something like that. Or, you know, don't freak out yet. It might not be as bad as you think. The first cut of something is always terrible. Even if you just choose the wrong music or you cut it the wrong way, you cut it how it didn't want to play out, it could seem terrible. Take a step back, take a couple of days, go look at it again, and start thinking, what could fix this? And remember, audio is a huge part. If you haven't mixed the audio and added the sound effects, it might seem like it's terrible, but once you add all that in, you end up thinking, oh my gosh, this is actually pretty good. So take a step back, look at it again. Maybe you need to just cut it faster, or maybe you're not letting it breathe enough. Maybe it needs to trim out, switch out the music that you were thinking. Maybe you gave it the wrong style. There's a lot of things that could go into it. So if it really is falling apart, those two things that I said, but I wouldn't abandon it yet, give it another shot. If you want to be a filmmaker, Full Sail University has degree programs that help you achieve that goal, including their on-campus bachelor degree program and their online digital cinematography bachelor degree program. In their online digital cinematography bachelor degree program, you learn what it takes to write, shoot, and edit your film, and all students get a technology package that include a professional level digital video camera. And on the on-campus bachelor degree program, you learn what it takes to do the entire filmmaking process on a campus that really is equipped like a Hollywood studio backlot. 38 Full Sail alumni worked on 7 different Academy Award-winning films last year, including Best Visual Effects for Life of Pi, and I'm sure plenty of them will be working on more Academy Award-winning films this year. So head over to fullsail.edu/Film Riot to learn more. Do it now.
Logo.
That's it for today, which means it's time for my suggestion of the week. You see that? I dropped short film out of that. What is Brian talking about today?
No one knows.
No one knows. I was thinking about it, and the whole idea behind suggesting the short films is to learn from them, for us to watch and get inspired and see what other people are doing. But I've been watching a lot of making-ofs lately, and one of the ones that I watched probably like 2 or 3 times, I mean, I've seen it like 5 times before, but I watched it like 2 times, and the thing's almost 3 hours long, is the behind-the-scenes of Alien, which you can find right here. It has a ridiculous amount of good info and even advice, just things to learn from it. I just love some of the old-school filmmaking, especially when it was a lot of practical effects and things like that, just the ingenuity that had to go into it. That's why I love watching the older stuff like that. It's kind of like how we have to do filmmaking. So definitely check it out right there. It is good stuff, and I'll see you guys next week.